a being by the name of Queen Mir. Queen Mir is like the mermaid beings. It's a lot of different things that happen because we adopted some of the reptilians that were here and moved them to Cyrus, right, for safety. Again, populating on these different planets in Cyrus, and they became known as the Nomos, the fish beings. So all like the whale, the sharks, the different types of fish in the ocean, they are classified really as Nomos, right? And so the Hindus later came to Cyrus too and mixed with these fish beings, right? And created now a half-type human-looking fish like the mermaids, right? So the mermaids are mixed between the Nomos and the Hindus. All right, so they have fish, have the Dogon type beings, right? And so they had already was populating in the Cyrus, right? When Lalo got there, he went to visit some of the planets, and he saw his Queen Mir, one of these planets. He saw the Queen Mir. He wanted to marry the chick, but the chick wouldn't mate with him. Why? Because he wasn't of her kind. So he decided came up with a way to slice his DNA to make himself half man, half fish. So he ended up marrying the chick, and they ended up moving back to Neptune, right? And so the mermaids were on Neptune before the crash came around again, when they got a storm on their planet, and a lot of them died. And so we quarantined Neptune and took a lot of mermaids off and brought them to Earth. So it's mermaids now under your ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. They came from Neptune. They're the children of Alelu, right? The government shows this big old fish tank on the ground where they got these mermaids, and then they study them, right? Right? And there are several different species, 3 or 4 of them that live on your planet right now, right, under the water. And they don't like humans, right? They used to eat humans at one point. These were 5th dimensional beings when they lived on Neptune, so their technology was a little bit more advanced. But once we had to bring them back to Earth, and being that Earth still hadn't made the transition to the 5th dimension, we had to transport them back to the 3rd dimension, right? And place them in your ocean. Some of the species come to the surface to shed their skin like snakes. Long ago, the Navy intelligence blew up one of their campsites, right? Causing them to have to flee. And they put out several movies, like The Little Mermaid is a story of Alelu and his daughter a lot, right? Once they came to Earth. In Greek culture, they call him Poseidon. They like to show these movies and these fake mermaids, right, of white people who put a mermaid suit on and act like they mermaids. Mermaids are not white. They ranging from different colors, from a light blue, right, from different colors like fish, right? But they mostly like a light blue, greenish type color. And like we said, they originate from the planet Neptune. Before that, they was in Cyrus. Before that, they migrated from Earth. And these are saltwater beings. The ones that live on Earth, but because they got reduced back down to the 3rd dimension, became less advanced than their ancestors. The ones that live under the water, now they fight with spears and pitchforks, just like the one that Poseidon carried. in the Greek culture. The reason why the government had really revealed the truth about these beings is because of the reptilian Draconian agenda. They want to keep you dumb. They want to keep you at a certain level of information, so they don't reveal the truth about these beings. They mostly died off of fish, right? And different small shrimp and things under the ocean. And being that they've been reduced back down to the third dimension, and they are more primitive than their ancient ancestors. The sharks and killer whales eat mermaids, so they have to be extra careful under the water. And really, they don't like coming to the surface because of the humans. They don't like coming in contact with humans because most of the experience they had with humans dealing with the Navy intelligence, they get attacked or killed or captured, right? So they got a strict rule amongst their people to stay under the water, right? They occupy the city of Atlantis, which was sunk. They live in reefs, honeycomb style reefs, right? And it's like I say, it's several different species of them that live under there in different saltwater areas. I don't care if this sounds crazy, sooner or later it's gonna come out, because you can't think of nothing that never existed. If you can think of it, that means it's existing. So all this might sound crazy now, but it's getting ready to come out. They finna get ready to start releasing some of this information about these beings, right? And these beings are taller than humans. They can get anywhere between 6 feet and 8 feet tall. The older species look closer to the fish, while the new species dealing with a Lelu and Queen Mirror look more humanoid. And they can swim very fast, and they can hear real good because they use ultrasound, right? Like the dolphin, right? Where they set out a certain echo frequency and it bounce back. That's how they communicate with different sounds and frequencies, because they come from Neptune. They are musical beings, right? And they are mentioned of in the Apocrypha under the word siren, right? Because when they do the maiden call, it sounds like a siren going off. They can be quite aggressive towards humans due to the Caucasian, right, being curious and not knowing what they are. And now he know what they are though, right? But not knowing what they are, he always try to capture them or kill them. And so they very skeptical of humans. And several of them have been seen sunbathing on rocks, because like I said, they come to the surface, certain species of them, to shed their skin. Man, you'll be amazed what you find under the ocean. But they ain't white folks, right? They try to make all these movies with these white mermaids. They try to make everything white, right? All the way up into heaven, right? Everything's got to be white, but there's no mermaids. So if you see a white mermaid, automatically know it's a fake, right? They have fish-like eyes. The humanoid ones have big fish-like eyes, right? They travel in packs like dolphins, and they connected with the dolphin. They can speak to the dolphins because the dolphins use ultrasound just like they do, right? They can speak to the whale. And one of their enemies under there is a shark now, right? But on Neptune, they didn't have this problem, like I say, because they was already vibrating in a higher dimension. But being that they had to be brought to Earth, they had to be lowered down back to the third dimension. And like I say, the government knows about them. They know they down there. Like I say, devil blew up one of their campsites, right? For what reason? Because he just evil. He do things like that, right? But the mermaids are Neptunians, right? And the mer comes from Queen Mir, or Mer, right? Spelled M-I-R or M-E-R. The maids, right? You know what the word maid, like a helpers, right? The helpers of Queen Mir, right? But they really are the Nomos beings, who are a fish crossbreeded with the Hindus. And some of them, some of the species, when they got to Earth, began mixing back in with certain types of fish. So you'll see a certain type of species that look more fish looking. Then you'll see a species that look, like I say, closer to the humanoid look. They can't make no stories up, right? They can't make these stories up. The storylines they make up about the mermaids and all that, right? These things actually really happen. And they're trying to keep it under wraps because they don't want you to raise your consciousness and see that, hey man, this thing is bigger. Because if they want to tell you about mermaids, and they finna get ready to tell you about mermaids, right? Soon, their religion had to explain where do these beings come from. And like I said, they mention them in the Apocrypha, but the Apocrypha is not part of their King James, right? The Apocryphals were taken out for the purpose of that it mentions certain extraterrestrial, like the Book of Enoch, right? So we're gonna show you a couple tapes, show you a couple clips of some real mermaids that were caught on tape. So stay tuned.
Yeah, man, this is cool. Got a seal on the rock down there? That thing. Yeah. That's a weird looking seal, man. Are you filming this? Yeah. How do you, where's the zoom on this? Yeah, it's that button. Oh, there, I got it. I don't think it's a seal, man. What is that? Oh my God! What is that? Did you just tell me you got that? Did you see that? What? That is not a seal, man! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hold on, let me turn this motherfucking music down. This better not be what I think it is. This better not be what I motherfucking think it is. It's a fucking mermaid, motherfucker. It's a fucking mermaid. I saw a fucking mermaid. It's a fucking, what the fuck? Okay, I'm seeing shit though. Like, nobody noticed this fucking mermaid in the sea. Like, nobody see this mermaid, bruh. It's a fucking mermaid out there. I heard myths, but I didn't know it was true. This motherfucker out there swimming. Nobody saying nothing. People out there just sitting, looking at him. What the fuck? It's a fucking mermaid, man.
Mosquito inlet, and there's mermaid. You could see very pretty. They're dark skinned. They're not your traditional light skinned mermaids. There looks like they're playing mermaid games. Where's he at? See him in there. There's his tail. Where'd he go? See him? Sure they don't eat crabs? There he is. Yeah, see him over there playing mermaid games.
I didn't see anything. Where?
Hold on.
Let's have a look, see what it is. It doesn't say.